Alright, how's it going? Another replay for you. Yesterday was a random battle replay. This time we have Clan Wars. So, pretty opposite. This time we have Cometron in the Kronwagen against Bitcoin here on Corellia. So, I'm calling this match. And I'm in the EBR, which makes for some interesting calling. But here we have Cometron going to the middle. Now, the idea for this strat here is to suck the enemy team down the K line and maybe just hold off on the alpha line. Now immediately great spotting there by the other two EBRs, Vicarious and Clarn, catching all of those heavies coming all the way up. Now immediately I pull the chieftains back, right, because that's just not going to work over there. And instead we're going to try and shift the other way, but we're still missing a good portion of the team. Now the position that Cometron is in is quite difficult because it can be a great spot to get early shots, proxy spot the hill. However, if the enemy team gets too far down the one line, you're toast. Now, he's running a bit of an interesting ammo loadout. Now, the Kronwagen has heat, also has APCR. Now, I called for him to go up the hill because we know they're coming down the wall line, and unfortunately, he's taking a lot of hits here. One from an unknown vehicle and one from a stirve. Blocked another one there from the stirve, but we're going to see how he handles this situation here. Taking another hit from a stirve, and now he's just going to go. Because if he sits there, he knows he's going to die. Another hit from the stirve, putting him at only 544 health, and we're barely even a minute and a half into the game. Now, we decide we're pushing Kilo line here. If you don't take the hill and you're going to give him the one line, you're basically backing yourself into a corner. Now I call for all the heavies to go on the hill. The important thing is, on this hill, is that you don't get too close to the edge, because if you start getting on this downslope too much, you'll get caught out. And you can see Cometron there just getting to the very edge. So right now we have all the heavies just kind of hanging out on the JK line. The reason we're not pulling them up on the hill is because if they hard push the one line, they will get onto that cap circle, and it'll be nearly impossible to bring enough tanks back. So we're going to hold tanks there. We'll shift some people around until we really know. Now, about now is when I suspect that maybe they're rotating. We spot two tanks there. However, typically when we do this strat, we will leave a tank there or two, just to get vision and to maybe fool the enemy. But that's just 1277. Where are the rest of them? So we have a couple of tanks on the low side, which is kind of hanging out. Now I call for all the tanks, the heavies, to get back on the hill. Now the reason for this is we have the IS-7 low side. You can see where my mouse cursor is. This IS-7 is going to spot everything crossing here. We don't need tanks on the low side spotting it because the IS-7 is right there. So all the high side tanks can really focus the middle in case an EBR gets lit or something like that. So we're just going to kind of let this play out. Now you can see here this kind of mess of 3 EBRs. This is an unfortunate part of the way this played out, because of your EBR still being on full health there. And we know he's in here somewhere. But we can't push out because they have snipers everywhere, and it would just be a suicide run. So unfortunately, that's left all 3 EBRs kind of stuck in bushes that aren't that great. They're great if the enemy hard pushes, but that's about it. So we're just kind of milling around the hill, waiting for something to happen. Now these games are 15 minutes like randoms. An advance is only 10, so if this was an advance, we'd have just over 6 minutes, and we'd really have to start thinking about what we were going to do if we were on attack. However, this is a toss-up. It's a random battle. It's not attack-defense. So we don't have to worry so much about having to attack. Most of the time, we're able to play it out and really force the enemy to get antsy and then push. So at this point, I've called the Leo over. The Leo was initially at Kilo 1, which is my fault. A Leo would not really be great over there, especially if they pushed. It'd be great to get a shot or two as they came down the one line, but after that, it's not going to be great. The hill is a much better place for the Leo. And pretty soon here, we're going to start to make some adjustments. We still got 2 chieftains, an STB, and an E50 holding out. Now those 2 mediums are veterans of this spot. They played a couple of games like that in these positions here, and did some great work. So now we have Scotch there in the EBR suggesting that maybe we could spot the 0 line a little bit more, which is a great call because we have 3 EBRs. I call Vicarious over there because I'm this EBR right here, and he's sitting right behind me, so he's really not going to be able to do much. Clarn might be able to get a little bit more spots. There's some bushes in my way. And Vicarious is going to go and get a little bit more of an advanced warning. However, the IS-7, it may now seem like this IS-7 doesn't need to be here. However, if the EBR has to bail out of there, the IS-7 is going to be the one to spot. So the entire enemy team is dark, and we're still missing 2 tanks. And one of them is still an unknown. So Vicarious is down there, checking it out. We're down to just under 9 minutes. And this can be one of the tougher parts of Clan Wars, because everybody really wants to be shooting stuff. That's what we're here for. Not sitting around on a hill waiting for something to happen. Normally I like to make the joke, go get your popcorn or whatever. But it is truly the case. If you don't have patience, you will lose quite a few games. So Vicarious is still milling around down there on the low side. You can see Cometron over here is inspecting his tank. I don't know if that's a camo or not. But you can see, look at the shot he took. Right there in the turret. Let's grab a thumbnail here. Now, Vicarious spots a Badger. Now, my initial reaction is those Badgers cannot be alone. Why would there be 2 Badgers pushing off of their defensive position on the 0 line if they were by themselves? However, we're not spotting anything else. So the only possibility is maybe these tanks came around here and are maybe sitting in this gap. Those Badgers are really coming fast. I mean, they're just looking it down the 0, but we're still not spotting anything. So I'm a little bit confused. Is it a decoy? Are they coming down the 1 line? What's going on? Now Vicarious is just getting out of there. Obviously, I'm calling the chieftains back on the hill. This is one thing that I really would rather people just stay on top of the hill, right? Because then you can shoot down. As soon as you go in the low portion of the hill, they can easily swing around you rather than having to lose all their speed going up the hill. So you can see the 2 chieftains getting up there. Now I'm putting this group here, these 4 tanks, on high alert. Because if they rotate and there isn't a threat coming down the 1 line, we need those guys to go. So I call the, I think it's the E50 and the chieftain, just hang out. Yep, there we go. Hang out in that area, Juliet 5, and that way they can easily rotate up to Kilo 1. EBR is up, and great kill there. Now here come the rest of the heavies. Now Munoz, if you can see over there, he's the P79 has gotten himself into a great spot. Now I'm telling all these tanks to just go, 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 right? Because now that 277 isn't even spotted there. We have 1 277 down there. We don't have to worry about him. Munoz is holding off this whole group. There's another kill for Cometron. Got the only 2 kills so far. He's going to unload 1. Swapping targets to focus fire, finishing off the 3rd tank. That's fantastic focus fire right there. Readjusting to a different target even while in sniper mode. Munoz is still over there. He's shouting for help at this point because he's got 5 tanks all shooting at him. However, it's coming at a huge cost for the enemy team. Unloading another clip into this chieftain. And again, textbook focus fire right there. He had another shell, could have shot it into the chieftain, but swaps to the 1-shot 277 and finishes it off, despite it only having 130 health. They're doing a great job. We're up 8-3 at this point. We get the last 2 tanks coming in the low side. 1 into the Badger. 2 into the Badger, finishing him off. He's going to dump a 3rd shell in here into that chieftain, bringing him down to 63 health, it looks like. And now this is just a rout at this point. The enemy team tried to get up there. The guys on the left side of the hill did a great job. Munoz did a fantastic job there too, holding off all of those tanks. The 279E has a great rate of fire, a lot of DPM, and even better armor. So if you leave that thing, it will completely destroy you. So the enemy team decided to focus it out. However, they had to come so far up the hill that all of Cometron's teammates were able to pretty much finish them off, even if they did kill the 279. Cometron here is up to 5 kills. There's only 2 tanks left. And at this point, we're pretty much just kind of in a free-for-all. I believe I call free play at this point. Now, it's a bit of an interesting ammo choice here. He is firing standard right now. I don't remember what he was firing earlier. Now, standard is not a bad choice on this vehicle. The heat rounds have great pen. Look at that shell velocity, 840, as opposed to the 1000. Now, 1000 isn't great either, but 840 is pretty bad. Also, you don't have problems with the tracks that you might have on like a Chieftain with that little side skirt it has. Cometron there finishing off that Kronwagen too, and now he's trying to get the Radley Walters in Clan Wars. However, not many people are just going to let him get it. There's one into the Leo. There's his 7th kill. And there's his 3rd kill. Now, he could have waited and tried to snipe that last shot out, but obviously the team is just going to finish it off. And there is a great result for Cometron and the Kronwagen. And let's look at the post-game results here. So, 7 kills and only 4,600 damage. Now, this doesn't look like a lot of damage. We can see J-Train just below him. 1 shot, but only 1 kill. This is coming from the crazy focus fire that he had, killing a lot of one-shot vehicles. We can see 1 shot into the 277 for a kill, another shot into a 277. Look at that, for just one shot each. We've got another one here, killed the EBR, only 58 health left, and this is what we're really looking for. Great work here. The team as a whole did awesome. I'd love to shout out Munoz for holding that corner. Vicarious and Old Scotch, that was a great suggestion there. I believe it was, I believe it was you two, catching that south push early. While we didn't see all the heavy tanks, we did see those 2 Badgers, which did lead us to getting a good clue as to what they were doing. I'm only losing 20,000 credits there on consumables, but still made 86K, despite firing almost $60,000 in ammunition. So, great game, textbook focus fire, fantastic job. I'm glad I could feature one from Cometron. He submitted a ton of replays to me, but unfortunately with the new patch I was unable to record them or even view them for that matter. So, glad I could get another one in here. Alright, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed it.